Hey, everybody, it's Mike with DirtKiller.com. And today we're talking to Austin Davis from United Exterior Cleaning. Austin is a local guy in Austin, and he, provides pressure washing services. He also runs a Facebook group, which has like 7,000 followers already and subscribers, of which Dirt Killer is one of. And that's how we met. And I thought we'd do a little interview for people in Austin and other pressure washing pros. Austin, why don't you say hi and introduce yourself?
How's it going, everybody? My name is Austin Davis. I'm 25 years old, local Austinite here in Austin. Been here in the area about 20 years. Moved from California, but I got into pressure washing 3 years ago. I was in the car business before, so I, love working with people. But I kind of grew up very hands-on. Mowing my dad's lawn, pressure washing my dad's stuff, working on stuff. So always like working with my hands. Always found pressure washing oddly satisfying, is what people like to call doing those kind of things. So always kind of had a liking to it. Ended up seeing a YouTube video a few years back of a younger kid actually, kind of going around to his neighbors and pressure washing driveways and making a little extra money doing it. And I kind of found like, man, if that person can do it, I can do it too.
Nice.
So that's kind of how I started pressure washing, kind of toting around my dad's truck, doing it as a side gig while I was working selling cars, and kind of one thing led up to the other. Every year we kept growing, and I can say happily now, and I'm blessed to say, after 3 years, we're one of the bigger companies here in Austin, and now I love what I do. And we offer roof cleaning, pressure washing, gutter cleaning, obviously driveway cleaning, house washing. So pretty much anything exterior cleaning is what we specialize in.
Cool. So are you also doing commercial stuff, or are you mostly focused in residential?
We do commercial stuff. We've done a full restaurants, Academy Jim's Restaurant, which is a local chain here in South Austin. We've done a couple Chipotle's, little small real estate offices, little 1,500 square foot buildings. So not big commercial yet, although we are taking calls. I have received a few calls. I have submitted some estimates and stuff. But as far as right now, our biggest thing is residential for sure.
All right, cool. Is there a specific kind of neighborhood or anything that you focus on in Austin, north, south, east, west, or just across the board?
No, we work all of Austin. When I get calls all the way up in Round Rock, which, if you guys are not familiar with the Austin area, I'm in South Austin, so Round Rock's probably 30, 45 minutes north of at least where I'm located. But Austin's also not the biggest city in the world. You can pretty much get anywhere in Austin within 30 minutes, from the center, at least, center of downtown. Draw a big circle radius. We're covering a huge area, and we get calls all the time from everywhere, really. So we go all around.
Are you keep saying we? So is it just you and a helper, or partner, or do you have a couple
yeah, so
trucks?
I say we as like us as the entity. So it is me, and then I have two guys with me. Those other guys aren't full-time. They're mostly part-time. So when I like saying we a lot, because it's me and my truck and my guys.
Right.
So,
All right. Well, I just didn't know if you had a fleet of people or
no fleet. I'm not too sure if I how interested I am in going, that big, because, I like doing a lot of things myself. But like I said, I'm very hands-on. I like to meet the customers in person, shake their hand. I don't want to, I know a lot of big businesses out there have, multiple trucks, and they got guys out there doing that stuff. But I really like, what I'm passionate about is just getting there and doing it in person. At least at this stage of my life, I really enjoy what I'm doing, and I like taking care of my customers, and I like doing a really good job, and that gives me fulfillment. So as of right now, it's one truck. We'll see how the year goes. Maybe we add on another truck, but even then, I don't want to get too big. So that's where I'm at with that.
All right. Awesome. Let's see. You mentioned earlier, annual cleanings. So is that a service you provide? You got customers for that, where it's just like every year, you're going to go back out and do it? And what are the benefits of doing that? Because some people are like, I got it washed, and 2 years ago, that never needs to be washed again. What are your thoughts on that? And what are you,
Yeah, well, I mean, look, every client is going to be, different. A lot of clients really are just interested in that one-time deal. But I always like to go up there and just, present the value. It's beneficial to them. Hey, if we're talking about gutter cleaning, you probably really should get your gutters cleaned twice a year. Because when fall comes down, it's going to fill up the gutters, and if the gutters aren't already cleaned before that, well, then you're going to have a real problem because now they're double stacked because you didn't clean them prior to the fall season. So I always like to, if I'm going out doing gutter cleaning, I always like to say, hey, look, let's do it by twice a year. I'll put you on the schedule every 6 months. It'll be at a slightly better deal because I know it's maintainably it's getting cleaned twice a year, and same with house washing and stuff. If we're doing like concrete cleaning, like driveway, sometimes what I'll do is like we'll clean the driveway, but then I'll tell the customer, hey, look, in a few months, what I could do is go back and do a post treatment. That way I can kill any algae and mold that's on there. We don't have to do the complete cleaning, but if we can just keep it treated every other month and get that algae and mold off it, it'll stay cleaner longer. So it's definitely beneficial for the customer. Right? Yeah, faster clean, right? And it's beneficial for the customer because if I can keep coming back, their stuff will stay clean. The prices will be better because it's not as dirty, and it's obviously beneficial for the business owner because we can, that's dependable work we can depend on as well. So
cool. So do you kind of try to work with a lot of real estate agents and so forth because of the housing market, right? I mean, I'm over in Dallas, so it's just crazy over here. But a lot of these houses really need to spruce up, and instead of a whole paint job or something, often I think that a pressure washing can do miracles from a curb appeal point of view.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people know me as kind of the real estate pressure washing guy on YouTube because, well, I'm a licensed realtor myself, and when I was coming up on YouTube and stuff, I always talked about marketing to real estate agents because there's infinite amounts of real estate agents out there, at least about 10,000 of them here in my city, and then their information is so easily obtainable. If you want to commercial managers and project managers email addresses, you got to go up to chain of command and hit the phone calls and get all this information on where you can on real estate agents. You can just go on Google and type in board of realtors. You can type in platinum top 50 and all these different names and numbers, and email just pop up. You save them in a CRM. You develop your own little template you can market to them, and it's really beneficial too. So yeah, I have a lot of real estate agents. I have a brokerage here in town that I've worked with, and I basically just said, hey, look, you're one of the top brokerages in town. Your houses are phenomenal. It's that modern, expensive look, big windows and stuff, really nice looking. Hey, look, before you take pictures, let me just go to the property, sweep it, rinse it down, make sure the concrete, everything. We're not totally cleaning it up and down, but let me just sweep it and give it a once over. And he lets me do that on every single property they have put up for sale before they do pictures.
Right.
And
smart move.
I've worked out a really good deal with them where I just kind of go over there and clean up around, make sure it's all good for pictures and stuff.
So you mentioned windows. Like, do you do specific as well as regular pressure washing and house washing? Do you have a whole, window cleaning setup with deionized water and all that? Or
the full window cleaning setup is coming. When I'm talking about a window cleaning setup, what I think you're probably talking about is like a water-fed pole setup with the whole ionized water machine and whatnot. That's coming, but for now, we're doing windows old school. So, mop and squeegee with the cool window cleaning, soaps and stuff that people use, like Easy Glide and stuff. So we use that. It works. It's old school. It works. It comes out perfect. But on those tall windows and stuff, sometimes I'll have my window cleaning guy come out and help me do windows, and we work together on it. But I think a water-fed pole setup or that kind of setup is coming soon.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, that's one area that Dirt Killer. We've got some stuff for. Some of our soaps are good for that. But I was just curious, because I know that there are guys that totally just specialize in that, and they come out with the DI and the soap, and it's just like, it's amazing. I had this house myself that had these big windows, and I wasn't going to climb up on a ladder. And this is back in Maryland, and my wife hired a guy that came out, and I was amazed because how well it worked. But all right, cool. So everybody, this is Austin Davis with United Exterior Cleaning in Austin, Texas. So if you're in that area and you need some pressure washing, check out United Exterior Cleaning. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Dirt Killer. Let's kill some